Well, good day, model railroaders. And I guess I gotta yell a little bit because the traffic down here is wild. But back in St. Thomas, and I'm taking a look at the 3 large train trestles that were here when I lived here, 1980s, 1990s. And this one here, with my shaky cam, should have got the tripod out. But anyway, this one here was from the Canada Southern, all the way to the Conrail days. And I'll try to get some more pictures of it up close. But as you can see, it's not run by a railroad anymore. It's run by a historical society. So we're going to try to get up there and see what that is all about. She was a long one. I got to see if I can model this one too for my layout. Big part of the history of Canada Southern. Well, hopefully you guys can read that through the shadows. Canada's first elevated park. A park built by the community for the community. And I'm pretty sure you guys can't read it because I can barely read it from where I'm standing. But I had to stand back this far just because of the sun. But that picture right there, that's cool. Somebody had a dream and made it come forth. And a little sign at the entrance of the park. It's a bit of a hike to get there, but at 1834 is that top sign. 3 tracks. Yeah, it might have been 3 tracks. Yeah, you never know. Cool. Well, you can tell there was something here before, but now it's all just grassland. Try to zoom way down, because that's where the Canada Southern station was. That big 5.5-foot station I got on my layout, or will have. But that cut in the trees, that used to be 2 main lines for the Canada Southern. And then Conrail, of course, was running on it when I fell in love with it. But if I turn around, since we're looking at the train trestles in St. Thomas, this is what they've made this one into from the Canada Southern. So the town's bought the property, probably a long time ago, and put an elevated park on it. So let's go check it out. So way back in the day when this was actually railroad tracks up there, but you can see how low that bridge would have been over top of the road. Probably the top of the St. Thomas elevated park sign there, straight across. But yeah, if you came through here with a van, you'd probably lose your roof. So as you're walking down the path, it's like I said, it's quite long to get there. Well, not really, but nice bench. That's beautiful. And then Railway City Little Free Library. So you can take a book out and read it, sitting here on the bench, but make sure you put it back. Really cool. Alright, let's keep going. Well, as you can see, they still got one of the old railroad signs still up. But kind of a mixed message, isn't it? Do not trespass, danger. But then they got it wide open. I guess we'll disregard the sign and go see. I like what they got in the big words. Leave no trace. Don't take anything and don't leave anything. Makes sense to me. It's like respecting heritage. Alright. Through the gates. Now we're gonna go take a wander. Some of the fancy artwork that they got up here now. And I gotta say, really nice decking to walk across. That's cool. A lot easier than railroad ties and rocks. You can still see on the outside of the fence here, but the old part of the trestle, where people could stand if a train was coming. Well, workers anyway. If you're just a regular everyday person, you shouldn't be out here.
You don't want to be there.
It's surprised how busy the park is actually, but it did just open, so. Alright, let's keep walking. Kind of right over there where you see those plows on those pickup trucks, that's where I was sitting to take that one video of the trestle. We're a little high. And some more nice artwork. That's what we can see from the ground, looking up at the trestle. Nice weather vane, and it's actually working. Telling you which way the wind's going. And I'm pretty sure this milepost marker was not out here when it was an actual railroad trestle. But, nice keepsake. And we'll take a look down this side. Really windy up here. Hopefully it's not bothering us too much. But right over there is where I was sitting to take those videos. Right there. Right in the middle of the screen. Just imagine the days of being the engineers and the, well, just brakemen, anybody working on the train. What a view. Kingsman Sunshade. A little shady anyway. I don't know about you, but if a train was coming and I was standing out here, I'd be freaking right out. Imagine how much this trestle would shake with long trains going over it. And then you're standing that high out on a little, well, probably 3/4 of an inch thick, but still, it's just a steel plate. Yep. And then you come to the other end of the trestle, and they're still working on this. You can see some electrics being buried in the ground, so these are going to light up. That is going to be awesome. Open dawn to dusk. So hopefully somebody can get some nighttime shots of this. Probably going to be really cool. And as you can see, ATVs and motorcycles not allowed on there. But respectful. We stopped. So cool. Well, I'm just going to add, guys, if you are in the St. Thomas area, St. Thomas, Ontario, that is, you guys got to check this out. There's not a lot of trains to look at in St. Thomas anymore. Very few tracks. Most have been ripped up. But this trestle made into a public elevated park. Lots of places to sit. You just watch the time go by. Very, very awesome. And pretty busy too. Oh, we missed that piece of artwork. What's that? I don't want to get the camera too high on this one because of the sun. That's different. Double face. Just following one of those piers down. It lands right in the water, and then you guys can see they actually made a concrete base, so the river's flowing over top of concrete. That's kind of cool. I never thought that. And that building way over there, right on the horizon, there was the old Chessie System that ran through St. Thomas. Their trestle was over there, so that's where we're gonna head next. Go check out that train trestle. All right, see you when we get there. nice design. The archways, and they all kind of line up. Oh, it's really cool. So the only thing I can find left of the old Chesapeake and Ohio railroad trestle is way up on the other side of it, on the other side of the hill. The tracks remain for the road crossing, but that's it. Nothing through the field. And that place used to be an old buffalo farm. Used to have about 150 buffalo roaming around. And definitely doesn't go too much farther over that way. See an old pole back there though. But Chesapeake and Ohio, completely gone. So the second trestle I want to show you guys here in St. Thomas is, well, it's right, well, you see that building there on the left. Just to this side of it was the start of the trestle. And it would have been over top of that silo that wasn't here back then. All the way across this gorge. And that was the Chessie System's trestle. But, as you can see, and I'm seeing for the first time too, completely gone. Would have been a bit of a chore getting rid of all that. But yeah, this one stood about 200 feet in the air. Probably about half a mile long. It would span from that building there all the way over somewhere in that area. It was huge. Don't see anything remaining of it though. Alright, let's go find the third one. Hopefully it's still there. Okay guys, and we're here in St. Thomas at the third large trestle. It was run by railroads way back when I was living here, so that's 80s and early 90s. And this one, back when I was here, was Norfolk Sutherland. The old NS ran on this bridge. So, as you guys can see by the three St. Thomas on the one end was one big gorge. So any railroad that came in had to build a super duper railroad trestle. Alright, let's go see if I can get a little bit closer to this one. And having a look at some of the footings here, they were kind of artistic. And I'll never figure out how people get out there to do graffiti. I would not have the nerve to do something like that. Very cool. But having a look from the underside straight up, I don't even know if nowadays I'd have the nerve to even walk on that. Some pretty big holes up there. And then just a shot going down the other way. That's a lot of steel. It almost looks like it's maintained. Still in use, but I'm not sure. So, that's the third and final trestle in St. Thomas, Ontario. And of course, if you're going to come to St. Thomas and check out that elevated park, you might as well stop over here and get a picture taken with Jumbo. And right beside that, pretty old caboose. Used to be the information center for St. Thomas, but pretty sure that's moved. I'll leave that up on the screen for a little bit. So you guys can press pause if you want to read the history of Jumbo and why it's so significant in St. Thomas. It's kind of weird because CN caboose in St. Thomas, when the cabooses were still highly in use, CN didn't come anywhere close to St. Thomas. Not at all. Oh well, still caboose.